Welcome to HomeFront SitRep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront SitRep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Still in the fight, different battlefield, same damn life. No spotlight shining on the ones who serve, just great sacrifice and a whole lot of nerve. From small town shops to a helping hand, we're lifting each other, yeah, that's the plan. No red tape, no filter, no disguise, just truth in the fire behind our eyes. This is HomeFront SitRep, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the scars we carry to the lives we reveal, from the weight of silence to the strength of will. Non-profits grinding, boots on the street, no headlines chasing, just mission complete. Veteran alone, still chasing the dream. From a mic to a message, we're building a team. Creators and fighters, yeah, we all belong. Turn the pain into purpose, turn the hurt into song. No politics, no games, no divide. Just warriors standing side by side. This is HomeFront SitRep, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is HomeFront SitRep. We don't forget, we don't walk away. We carry each other through every day. From combat boots to a boss to a seat, still standing tall, still hard to defeat. Real stories, real impact, real people. This ain't just a podcast. This is a movement. This is HomeFront SitRep, loud and clear, for the ones still fighting year after year. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. Yeah, we rise, we grind, no regrets. Welcome to HomeFront SitRep.
Welcome, everybody, to a Monday edition of HomeFront SitRep. How is everybody doing? Gunny Delayed Deeds, how are you doing, sir?
Home. Yeah, delayed is an understatement. You know, going on a year and a half of flights now of either being delayed or canceled in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, just glad to be home for the couple days that I'm here. I'm out the door again on Wednesday, heading to Japan with the team, and I won't be back until the following Wednesday. So yeah, had a great weekend down in Orlando with Operation Heal Our Patriots. They do a reunion every 2 years of the men and women that they took to Alaska for their marriage retreat as part of the Samaritan's Purse initiative. So yeah, I mean, great weekend. There was a couple thousand couples there. Surprise musician Ricky Skaggs came out and performed.
Nice.
And April's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "This is what's cost us our marriage. Yeah, I failed you. This is horrible. I'm not even from Kentucky, and I know who Ricky Skaggs is.
Right?
But it was Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder, man. They put on a great show. They played Highway 40 Blues. They played a bunch of stuff,
Nice.
and then our guest speaker that night was home run hitter world champ Daryl Strawberry.
Nice.
Has completely turned his life around and is now has his own ministry. So he came out and preached to us for a bit, and man, a bunch of people got saved that night. And then trying to get home yesterday, and a pilot got sick, so we had to wait on another one to come in from Atlanta, and yeah, so
Well, just remind me never to go flying with you.
well,
You know,
there was a guy from Cincinnati, and he goes, Sam, he goes, let us know when you're booking your next flight. We don't want to be on here with you. I was like, fair enough. I got
it's
it.
every time, bro. Every time.
It is, and hopefully it doesn't happen. On Wednesday. We got to get over there in time to one, have our day of acclimation before we start performing, right? But we also Friday, we have meet and greet with the commanding officer, the sergeant major, the head H&HS CO and sergeant major, and then some of the Japanese maritime self-defense force guys will be there as well, and then the other acts that are performing. And then Saturday at show day, practice day for us. They invite all the families on base to come out. They'll bring in a couple busloads of kids from out in town to come in. And then Saturday's actual show day. And man, they'll have people come from all over Japan because it's the biggest air show in Japan.
Heck
And then
yeah,
we're going
man.
to spend Monday into Tuesday in Tokyo. So we're going to have about 38 hours in Tokyo, I think, before we decide to jump on the plane and come home, and then back to the grind here in the States because the season started, man. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're gonna
people,
be rocking and
yeah,
rolling.
everybody that tunes in will see less and less in me. I am going to try to at least come in with with my phone from some locations, depending on where we're at, time wise. But we'll see.
Yeah, and you missed a good show last night. I know you were in the
I
comments
didn't
on.
miss it. I watched the
I
entire
know.
show. I did
I
miss
know.
being here and, interacting in person with Jen and, hearing what she had to say. And then, of course, looking at her sister's comments and everybody else that was chiming in too. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it
no,
was.
great show last night. You're like, "Are you gonna come in for your words of wisdom?" I'm like, not on the airport Wi-Fi. No
You
way.
you could have
So
done it. You could have done it.
yeah, it would have been like
Uh,
my Wi-Fi from last week's episode where I just kept, Max Headroom in it every time.
dude, I don't know what happened last. Was it Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday.
Sunday
I
or
don't.
Monday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
Sunday 'cause
know.
one with Lauren and Kevin.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened, but holy cow! I was like, Jesus. So you had issues first. After you got yours somewhat fixed, mine started kicking in. I was like, what the heck is going on here?
But yeah.
So do you
I blame
do
my
you
son for all the stupid games he plays on this computer and leaves open, and he messes with my soundboard all the time, messes with the master sound on the computer, and I gotta fix it every week. I'm just gonna choke his little butt out and tell him he has to figure something else out.
make sure you video it? I wanna watch. Well, you know what? I'll get that little mini PC back up and running, and we'll give that to the kiddos so they can play their games on it. How about
Right.
that? That way they have their own computer, or vice versa. You can take the little mini PC. Uh, so, do you want to introduce our guest, or do you want me to introduce our
And it
guest?
doesn't matter. She really needs no introduction. Navy veteran turned singer-songwriter, best known for the veteran edition of Hallelujah. That's what made her go viral. I know her as a friend, and the COVID booty call blues and 22 and I'm going anyway, and she likes the D string, that is, and many others. I've had a couple opportunities to hang out with her and be around her. And, we brought her in for Warrior Weekend a couple times, brought the whole band in. And I don't know how the band made it home because we were up early. I can't
Mm,
say late because it was like, I think they got maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours of sleep before they had to go out the door and get back home for whatever. But yeah, we spent some good time up there, and love to have her back for Warrior Weekend. I know she's down in Florida now, but and I've stepped away from there a little bit. But yeah, excited to have her on the show. Been wanting to have her on for a long time, and I'm glad she could make time today to come on.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. I'm debating. Should we go ahead and play the veteran version of Hallelujah before we bring her on, or wait till we bring
Maybe
her on?
maybe one verse, not the whole thing, just a little bit of it.
Okay, let's do that. All right, let's do that. Let's see, where is it?
You packed your bags and shut the door. You crossed the sea to fight a war. You didn't know just what would happen to ya. Stepped in the dirt, boots on the ground, and gunfire was the only sound. And to yourself you whispered hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
It's almost too good to turn off.
You know, I mean, yeah. So and what's funny is I met her years after, that went viral, and it just popped up the other day. I think it was right after you said you had popped into one of her lives or something, but that video popped up, and some of the memories of that, and then of course some of the Warrior Weekend stuff have popped up since. And yeah, just I mean, to hear it in person, and even just the acoustic version, like pin drop in the room. And you got the Gold Star families in there too. And I don't know if we had started including the families of fallen first responders yet, but you got all these veterans in there, a lot Purple Hearts and a lot of Gold Star families in there. And it was just, you could hear a mouse fart in the back corner. It was so quiet just because of, one, the words and the meaning behind the song. So yeah, super excited to have her on tonight. So without further ado, I think we're done running our mouth. Let her.
Yeah, let's bring her in. Let's bring her in. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Good. How are you?
We are doing wonderful. So glad to have you here. We want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy day, because I know you're driving to come hang out with Gunny and I on this Monday night. So do me a favor, introduce yourself to the world of HomeFront SitRep, if you don't mind.
I think you did. I'm just Jerry. It's funny. Sailor Jerri was a joke. Sailor Jerri was a joke, and because I'm a sailor, I was in the Navy, and it's a rum, and it's the tattoo artist Sailor Jerri. So when it started posting online as Sailor Jerri, so many people now always ask me, where does the sailor come from? Because no one thinks I'm a veteran ever. Ever. So anyway, Sailor Jerri was a joke. So I started playing guitar in 2017 just because I wanted to play for the long-term care at the VA. I was going to the VA to deal with some knee issues, and their long-term care just didn't get visitors. Nobody came in there. So I asked, I was like, can I come in and volunteer this just thing? At first they said, what do you want? I was like, well, nothing. And I was horseshit on a guitar. It was brand new, terrible, but they couldn't hear, so it was perfect. Everybody was happy. They had entertainment. I got to play, and it was awesome. And so then I would have songs requested, and I would learn those songs. And somebody requested that I learn Hallelujah, and I didn't know all the words of the original, and so I rewrote it, and I posted it. I posted on Facebook, and at this point, I probably had couple thousand people who watched my garbage guitar playing online. Like, it was just for fun and just so I could practice and then go to the VA. And then I woke up and like a million people had watched it, and I panicked and I almost just deleted it immediately because I didn't want to deal with that at all. I didn't, and then it turned into my full-time, like my life, which was amazing because I started my writing career for writing music and singing. Prior to that, it would take me 7 shots of tequila to get on a karaoke stage. I mean, I was not singing on a stage for nothing. And I had a Marine message me and say, hey, we want you to sing this Hallelujah. at the end of the Navy Pier at this gala with like 2,000 people. And I was like, not a chance. Like, no. And they nagged me until they did it. That was the first time I sang in public was at this event. I was not a singer in public at all. So I kind of got harassed into it by a Marine that was right there. And then I had one lady who sent me a message, and she said it made veterans sound weak, that the version that I wrote made veterans sound weak. Everybody else across the board was positive, and she pissed me off. And so I ended up writing a song called Strong. It was the first song I wrote from scratch because Hallelujah obviously was an amazing song, the original. And I wrote Strong, and then I just didn't stop. I just kept writing, and I started traveling, and I got to go to these awesome events and play for all these great organizations. And yeah, so that's it.
So how has music helped you on your healing journey along the way?
So it's funny. I just like music. I think music is so healing. And then I learned along the way that patients with traumatic brain injuries, and dementia and all that, the sense of smell is the number one thing that'll trigger a memory. The songs are like in the top three. So if you can't remember a song you can sing from your childhood where you maybe don't remember what you ate for breakfast. And the interesting thing is I have heard about it and talked about it within the community, but I never experienced it until 2019. So 2 years later, at this point, I've booked 54 shows a year around the country. So I'm on the road just like you are now. Every weekend, I'm in a different state. I'm singing somewhere. And I was on the way to a show, and I got rear-ended. I was speeding because I speed. So I was going probably 75 down an open, clear highway. And I was hit so hard from behind. So imagine how fast you had to go to spin out a full-size Durango when I'm going 75, 80. Spun me out. I flipped a guardrail. I rolled like 7 times downhill, led into the swamp, and ended up with brain damage. And so my short-term memory was trash. My language centers in my brain were all messed up. I went through speech therapy. I was real cocky at first. I was like, I'm good. It's fine. And I was not fine. They would show me a picture of a flower, and I would say it's a butterfly. Like my brain would say, oh, I have a word for you, but it wasn't the right word. It would try to find something, but all the connections were wrong. And then when it tied into music, I would be singing a song, and in the middle of the song, I would start to sing a completely different song, because my brain was like, well, we have lyrics. I've got lyrics for you, but not the right lyrics. And so music, it's crazy how it's healing for people when they hear something, and I can write something and it helps them feel something that they maybe don't want to feel or forget. But on a strictly physical sense, it's healing for brain injuries. And I didn't know that to the extent that I do now because I have one. So my family's like, oh, you just have some brain damage. It's no big deal. So yeah, it's been wild.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I've heard that music does help with like memory issues and stuff like that. Because if you like you said, if you know songs from way back when you were a child and you could still remember them, even if it's just like hearing, like I could be in a vehicle and not even looking at like the screen or whatnot, and just hear the first chords of the song, and then the whole thing comes right back into my head, and I know exactly what it is, and it's like I can sing it verbatim. Like it's just like, holy cow. And then my wife's like, well, see, you remember that, but you can't remember something I just told you 10 minutes ago.
That happened on Saturday. So we're sitting there, and Ricky Skaggs is getting towards the end of his set, and all of a sudden this riff comes in, and I lit up and I got so excited, and everybody's like, what's going on? I was like, this is Honey. And sure enough, that's what it was. And I haven't heard that song since, man, way before I left home, right? That's 80s.
Right.
Ricky Skaggs, and I haven't heard it for a while because I stay with what's current, and I still listen to some of the older stuff. But man, everybody's like, "That's a different Sam. I've never seen this Sam before. What is happening here?" Right? But that song brought me way back and so much joy. So, and I mean, just like every now and again on my shuffle, Jody will pop up there, and I laugh, and because the first time I heard that, and then you did "I'm Going Anyway." And, after, talking to you about what that represented and what it meant. And I was like, that can resonate with so many veterans, right? Because that's happened with so many veterans. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
You don't want to sign? wait till I turn 18. You don't have a choice.
That's
you know?
right. Ironically, so I didn't leave for the military until I was 20. I was nearly 21 when I left. And this is how much trouble do I get in for swearing on here? Because I do it a lot. Just throw it out there. You're gonna have to bleep me out. So I wanted to join the military, but I didn't know what branch I wanted to join. And two of my greatest friends from when I was very young, one day they said, "Hey, fucker, we're joining the Navy and you're coming with." And I was like, "Perfect. Now that's the branch." That's how the Navy got chosen. And so I went in and I said, I want to be an aviation mechanic. I knew what I wanted to do immediately. And they were like, "Well, we'll see. I said, take it or leave it, or I'll go somewhere else. Like, somebody's going to give me the job I want." And they said, "Okay, we'll give you the job you want." So, my dad was not excited that I was joining. He was, for those people who didn't know the story about it, he basically, my uncle had been gone a lot, and he's like, "You should have been home to take care of his kids." And I said, "He was taking care of his kids and your kids and everybody's kids." I said, "If everyone says someone else is going to do the thing, nobody does the fucking thing. Like, you just have to do it." And I said, "I'm going anyway." So years later, and shortly after that, he was completely on board. But 2 years later, I was writing the song and I didn't have the hook for it. And I was talking about the story, and I said that, and my little sister's like, "Hey, stupid, that's the hook. You're going
That's
anyway."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, that's." So I was really proud of the song, but more so even the music video, because I said, "I want to film this in my old hangar with the F-18s." And I thought, they're never going to let me do this. And so I got a hold, I posted up online in my old squadron's Facebook page, and the current XO's wife saw it, and she's like, "We'll make this happen." And I was like, "That a girl." and they did.
It's always the wife. It's
That's
always
right.
the wife that makes it happen. Of the CO or the XO. They're like, "Hey, by the way, this is going to be good for you.
We should do this."
Yes.
And so they said, "Let's make it happen." And what's so cool about it is I called down to some friends I'd served with who were still living in the area, and I was like, "Hey, I'm coming down to film a music video. I'm going to crash at the house, but I got the whole band." And they're like, "Yeah, come on down." I said, "I need a mom who's blonde and a dad with a beard, because this is the story of me. So that's my mom and dad." And Kim was like, "Well, I'm blonde, and Ryan said he'll grow a beard." And so they served with me in the squadron, and then there were my parents in the video, and everyone else in that video was either currently active duty or had served with me when I served, the whole video. And then,
that's awesome.
So that was super cool. And then my daughter, she's blonde, but I said, "Hey, you want to be in a music video? You got to dye your hair brown." And so she dyed her hair brown. And then she played me as a younger version of me. So that's how that whole thing came about. It was pretty cool though, because we go in and the band has never seen the fighter jet up close. And they're whispering the night before. They're like, can we touch it?" And I was like, "First of all, not if you're being creepy. And second of all, you wait until tomorrow. No one's going to be paying attention to you. You can touch it all you want."
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that would be super cool to go back and create a video, especially for me. Like, I know 2.8's not where it used to be anymore, but to go back to those old stomping grounds and do a video down there.
The building's still there, and 2.8's still there. I was just there last January.
Are they in the same area?
Yeah, same exact building that
I thought they moved.
So they did, but they're back in that same building when I was there last year. So
okay, we might have to take a trip down to North Kakalaki, or me, and do some videos. Yeah, do some videos. Go do some land nav sites and stuff.
Yeah, dude, it's so different down there anymore. You wouldn't recognize it. The main gate's not even the main gate anymore. The main gate's way over by Camp Johnson. So just so much has changed.
Oh, that's crazy. So let me ask you this. So Hallelujah is the one that went very, very viral, right? So that got you kind of jump started into where you're at now. You've written several songs since then. Sam has named off several of them. I've listened to a bunch of them. I'm going to ask this question because I asked all of our veteran singers that we've had on here. What is your favorite song that you've written so far?
Oh, you know what?
Gonna be.
I don't even know. You know what's funny? No one has ever asked me that ever. I would like to say hallelujah, but I can't take credit for it because it was one of the greatest songs ever written. And it is not my story. I was not a combat vet. I had heard so many stories, and I had the fortune of being in a position to hear stories that probably were never spoken outside the room I was in when I heard them. And because of that, I got to write that song. But I almost can't take credit for it because the music wasn't mine. That was Leonard Cohen's, and the words really weren't. I mean, I just put words in the stories that I had heard of other vets. So I would love to take credit for that. But short of that, I don't even know because I like the military songs. I like dirty songs. I like songs that are funny. I turned Jolene into Jody. I have a song called Jody, like all about, yeah, you know who Jody is.
Yeah.
And then I like the D-string song. I have a song, it's called She Likes It Rough. And I told my mom, I was like, this song's your song. And she gets so annoyed when I tell people. But it's not as bad as it sounds. But it was because of her. I wrote it. And like, I just think that's funny. And then I have the military ones. I wrote one. It's on the second album. And it was about Memorial Day. And I love that song because I would fight with people over Memorial Day. For one, because a lot of civilians don't know the difference between Memorial Day, Armed Forces Day, and Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Right.
So they thank us for our service on Memorial Day. The problem is we turn into assholes about it. We're like, don't take me, it's not for me. That's true, but guess what? They don't know that, and they think they're being respectful. And we think it's not for us. So I always tell vets, don't be a dick. Like, explain to them why it matters, what it is. You know, you're one of the guys. I can see it. Yeah,
You've been around me enough, you know.
That's a learning opportunity. But what's so nice about it is it gives us a chance to say why it's important. And then the other thing that I would go around about is it turned into a barbecue holiday, which it did. But I also don't dislike that either because I know so many people that we have been killed in action or we lost after they got out. And I don't know one of them who would begrudge us that weekend with our family. None of them.
Nope.
And even flag code says it's half mast till noon to mourn and then risen gloriously to celebrate the fallen heroes. I mean, that's flag code. So I wrote the song, and the whole song is about shut up and do the thing and whatever. And a bunch of people thought it then pissed people off. So I knew a lot of Gold Star families, and honestly, a bunch of them were from your event, the Blue Skies event. So I recorded the song, I sent it out, and I said, you tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, it'll never see the light of day. And across the board, they said, let her rip. So I released it. But that one, I was pretty proud of because I think it teaches people something and it means something, but it's not slow. It's not a slow song. It's like a fun celebration song, but it's got some meaning. So that one's a big one I'm proud of.
Yeah, I gave a speech on Memorial Day a number of years ago. And part of my speech was like, you know what? If my brothers were here, and I say brothers because I lost 25 guys that I served with, right, in the infantry, and then other brothers that were in the infantry or died. So if they were here, they'd be opening a cold one. They'd be throwing burgers and brats on the grill. You know, they'd be opening the bowls and doing that. But at the same time, they would still be remembering
absolutely
back home, right? So, and that's where a lot of people have that disconnect. It's like, oh, you know, I lost so many guys. Yeah, you're right. You did.
You did.
What did they do when they were here, though? The same exact thing that everybody else across the nation is doing.
Yeah.
So you have to get past that part. You still can remember them as you're partying. Right. And some of the greatest things, some of the greatest stories comes from a drunken night in a college town somewhere.
Those are some of the greatest stories.
You know?
For sure.
I mean, it's just like, you know, go ahead.
Just one step further, it's not even that they would be doing it, that you know that they would not be upset if you were taking their family to do it on that weekend. You know what I mean? Like, I always told, the thing I always said was, you know, they died so you get to live, so go fucking live.
Yeah. You know, everybody's like, oh, let's drink to forget. And I'm like, no, you need to sip to remember, which that, you know, 4 branches bourbon, that's their motto. Sip to remember. And you know, I'm kind of like Gunny when somebody comes up to me and says, thank you for your service on Memorial Day, and I'm like, I used to be, and my wife would get so mad. She would grab my arm if we were out, and she would grab my arm, and she's like, calm down. And so now I'll be like, look, thank you for being a great American. But today's the day of remembrance.
Yeah,
Of,
it's not
you
for
know,
me.
yeah, it's not for me. So you do have to teach, and that's something that we as parents, we instill in our kids. Hey, Memorial Day is for the ones that paid the ultimate sacrifice. Veterans Day is for those who made it through. And then, and Armed Forces Day, that's for anybody who served in the military. And it's just like, come on, man. You just got to, parents need to be better. So,
Right.
We do
but
we do a flag in event down at Camp Nelson, and it's amazing to see how many young kids, and the parents bring them, or it's the Boy Scout troop or whatever, but they come out and they learn the meaning of Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And their guest speaker fell out one year, and he's like, "Sam, can you say some words?" I'm like, "I'm not prepared, but yeah, easy. It's
Yep.
Memorial Day. I should be able to speak on it, right?" And these kids came up to me and thanked me afterwards. And it's even some of the parents are like, when they ask us what is the meaning of Memorial Day, we don't know how to answer that, and now we know. So I mean, it was just you get some of those experiences, and then it's like, dang, why was I a dick all those years, right?
Yeah.
And so
But everybody was. It just was. Because you didn't think about it. I think it's better, man, for every person who says thank you, it's somebody who was thinking about it.
yeah,
And somebody you can tell the difference to.
for sure.
yeah.
And we do enough things to come across as dicks. Our personalities are shaped that way, so we don't need to do it on that day.
Well, I mean, you've been around me a bunch, and I've smiled probably more tonight than I had the rest of the times that you've been around me.
Yeah,
So
I'm laughing about that.
there's been a big change there, but yeah, I mean, always just
Sober face.
right,
Stoic is a good word.
yeah.
So we were at an event last year, and my wife. This is the first time my wife met Sam in person.
Well, it's the first time she's been around me, like truly been around me. Yeah.
Yeah. So
For an
so
extended period of
backstory-
time.
So backstory: Gunny and I, we met in boot camp. That's where we met.
Oh.
So we went to boot camp together, School of Infantry together. Then we served at 2-8 for our first 3 years, pretty much together, and then we kind of went our separate ways. Well, once we started doing this podcast, we were at a Warrior Rounds event here in Kentucky, and it was the concert where they debuted the song. So, with you being a singer-songwriter, they would pair you with another veteran, and you would write a song about that veteran's. Or I don't want to say veteran because they do cancer survivors, Gold Star family, firefighters. So community hero. Let's just say that. And then they debut the song at a later date after the song is done. And so me and Gunny, we were there. We were videoing it and doing a live for them. And my wife was sitting in, or Gunny was sitting in between my wife and I as we were doing this. And his face, his RBF was just
Stop.
I was thinking that actually, right before
Easy
you
now.
said it.
So there was this young girl who had walked by, and she noticed the video camera. So every time she walked by, every time. And then I was like, oh, this little girl's getting on my nerves. So then it set in even more so. And I'm like, sit your little ass down. And Julie's like, stop it. You can't do that. Or I'd be sitting there later and she's like, hey, fix your face. She'd hit me. Fix your face.
Fix your face.
It was awesome. It was a great time. I mean, just to get to hang out and have him interact with my wife like that, it was just like, oh man, that's cool. Because I do as well. Like my face, if I'm just in one of those moods, I got that RBF too. My wife hit me and she goes, fix your face. I'm like, this is my happy face. It's just like, come on. So,
I always say my face has subtitles. Like my face has subtitles. Like I frequently have to not say things I want to say, but it doesn't matter because subtitles.
your face says it all.
Right there. Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, so I do like your answer that, you couldn't really pinpoint your favorite song, right? And a lot of times when we asked our singer-songwriters that come on here, a lot of them say my next one. is my favorite, the one that I haven't written yet. So I was wondering if you were going to say that, but you
Brain
didn't.
damage,
No.
man. There's not much thinking there.
No, I can't say that. You know what's funny is I constantly have a catalog of random things that are parts of songs. And I have songs that are coming out, and I have songs that are almost written, and there's just a lot of them. And it's the thing is, like, so many of them, they come from so different places. Like, some are my life, but some are, if you know the song Screen Door, the Screen Door song. Anyway, if you don't know it, go look it up. It was pulled on Pinterest. It says, "I'll bang you like a screen door in a hurricane." And then I was like, I'm writing that song. And my producer said, "No, you're not." And I was like, yeah, we are. And then we wrote it to my guitarist, and I wrote it and did all the music and whatever. And we just came to the producer. We're like, this is going on. And then we named the album after it. And that, it came from nothing. Like, I thought it was funny. But then some of them come from like really serious other people's stories. So I don't even know what the next song is. So I don't even know if I could say that.
Yeah, I mean, we used one of your songs, and I think it was our a video that Nicole had put together for the team that we used one of your songs in a few years back. I think it was during COVID or right around COVID. We were just trying to create content to stay relative, right? And I know she had reached out and got that, and I mean that song. Is it the Flag song?
This Flag probably.
This Flag, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just, and the way that she put the video together with that song was really good. And I mean, like I said, I've got a bunch of songs, and you pop up all the time on my stuff. And it's just, I laugh at some of it, and then some of it, right, when 22 comes on.
Yeah.
I've introduced that song to so many people, and they're like, I've never heard this before. And that's amazing. And then, it takes me back to Warrior Weekend when the Gold Star Child came up and had her little issue, and because that her dad was one of the 22, and we explained to her later, listen, this isn't making fun of anybody, this is to talk about it, and she understood more then, right? She was very young when it happened with her dad, and even then during Warrior Weekend, and then of course in the past few years of what happened with Boone, and now it just takes it back more, right? And it's like, man, you just don't know.
It's funny because I didn't even bring up 22. I that one, I wanted it to be, we know how many people we lose once they get out, but civilians don't know. And so when I wrote that, I wrote it specifically in the perspective of the spouse, because I don't need to tell us. And if I could make people feel it from her perspective, that would make such a bigger impact than me just telling you, because you're like, yeah, okay, we know this. And so that one was a little different.
Well, speaking of 22, let's go ahead and play it, if that's okay with you guys.
Oh, yeah, by all means.
We fell in love in high school, married before 19. We started to build a life better than most people dream. But the love you had for your country was as great as your love for me. So I supported you as you raised your hand, and I cried as I watched you leave. 22's when you left and headed out to war. 22 are the months I waited for you to walk back through my door. 22 months was the age of our son when you couldn't take it anymore. And now you're gone, want it out, and you joined the 22. 2 years we had you home, and life was finally blessed. But I held our son and cried again on the day we laid you to rest. I know how much you loved us, there was never any doubt. But But you can't just shut off the soldier on the day that you get out. 22's when you left and headed out to war. 22 are the months I waited for you to walk back through that door. 22 months was the age of our son when you couldn't take it anymore. And now you're gone, you want it out, and you joined the 22. It's been a rough couple years, but I know that we'll adjust. Since you couldn't stay here for you, wish you could have stayed here for us. 22's when you left and headed out to war. 22 are the months I waited for you to walk back through my door. 22 months was the age of our son when you couldn't take it anymore. And now you're gone, you want it out, and you joined the 22.
Hey, this is Boone Cutler. Every day in America, more than 20 veterans take their own life. But suicide never stops the pain. It only transfers it to the people you love. So if you're struggling, or if you know someone that is, reach out.
You know, it's funny, that song, when I wrote the words to it, this was one of the first songs that I wrote that got recorded. And I wrote the words. And when you write a song, a lot of times you come up with ideas and then you have some music and the music doesn't fit the words and you have to shuffle it around. Well, when I wrote it top to bottom and I sent it to Greg, who was he co-wrote with me because he was writing music for me, and he produced both albums. And I said, this is the song, I need music for it. And this is before I knew how to write the music part. I just could do the words, I could sing it, but I didn't know how to do the rest. And he was like, well, we might need to do this. I said, no. I said, this is what it is going to be. And he called me at like 3:00 in the morning. And he said, I woke up in the middle of the night. And he's like, I got a melody for that song. And I was like, and it matches. And he's like, 2 that's syllable. And I was like, okay. I said, record it and shoot it over. And so he shot it over to me. And I was like, all right. I was like, that's it. And it could not, like, I have goosebumps. I don't ever have goosebumps. I don't listen to myself sing. But when I hear it, it's because of the words and like how it came about. It was kismet. Like that one, it was meant to be the way it was. And then I had known Boone from just various places. I, met him and a few times got to know him. I reached out to him, and he had such a powerful, just his presence and then his whole, everything he did. And I said, I want you to do a voiceover at the end. He said, what do you want me to write? I said, whatever you think. And he sent me a couple. And I said, it has to be digestible for civilians and meaningful, like that's it. Whatever, but write what you want. And he sent a couple over, and we both were like, this is it. Like, this is it. So.
Yeah, it definitely, I saw it said featuring, and I was like, man, nope, there's no guy singing on it. And then at the end, it caught me, and I was like, oh, because I was about to stop it right when the music stopped.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to cut the video off, and then I heard him speak, and I was like, no, I got to leave that on there. I mean, it's got to be on there. It was just like, holy heck.
Yeah.
Trish, how are you? So we are chit-chatting with Miss Sailor Jerri Music. You can go to her website, sailorjerrymusic.com. You can check out her music there, about events, videos, merch is on there as well. You can also contact her as well. So how do people reach out to you to get you to come to their event or to get you booked to come play a gig or whatnot?
The website is probably best because believe it or not, you get some crazies. You get on Facebook and TikTok or Instagram. The messages are Man, we should do a whole show on just the messages I get. You guys would die. Maybe I'll tell you when we get offline. There's been some doozies, but
Maybe you need to write a song with just those messages.
ooh, I don't know. Hey, will you come to my church barefoot and pantyhose? I don't know if that really has a good ring to it. Like there's some weird shit, dude. But yeah, the website is probably best. And I had been on the road nonstop. I mean, like from the day Hallelujah hit, and it was April 4th of 2017 is when I wrote it and posted it that day. And ironically, I wasn't going to, I had changed some of the words to it, and I had like 3 other verses. And I wrote it, and I sang it, and I was like, I could do better. And I messed with it. But the next day, when it was posted, I had people who could sing it. They had listened to it so many times. That was it. Those were the words. You couldn't change them anymore. I couldn't change them. It was no longer my words to change. And so that was, it was wild. But then it put me on the road nonstop until COVID hit. And I had 54 shows that year. It dropped down to 5 because of COVID. And then I just kind of lived life. So I'm really getting back into touring now. So I didn't tour as heavily the last few years. I mean, I did shows randomly, but I'm back into it full time. So I would love to go hit whatever. And I mean, I do everything. Like we flew out to Boston one year just for Hallelujah. But then, I play acoustic, and then I have a band. Obviously, the band will come out. And for a fundraiser, it's usually worth it because, and I mean this as for the people with fundraisers, our point is to raise money. People will try, and their wives will make you spend money for the organization. So it is very useful in that, and that was never the intention of it. But I did an event with George Strait, and I sang, and I had a husband come up to me, and he's like, "Fuck you," and I was like, "What?" He goes, "I just spent $100,000 on their nonprofit, veteran nonprofit. You made my wife cry," and I was like, "My job here is done." The nonprofit raised so much money for the organization, and I was like, "Okay," I was like, "That was never the intent." But I was like, I'm on board with that. Like, if it helps that much, okay, that's all right. I can do that, Even though
Gunny, it sounds like we need to get her into Kentucky to for some of these veteran events here that we got coming up. I'm gonna reach out to a few people that I know and that's got some events coming up. I know there's a car show coming up for Toys for Tots, July 5th. That would be a good one, but I'll be traveling back that day because I'm coming back from New Orleans.
You don't have to be there, Willis.
I know, but I want to be. Gosh,
I would like to be.
Yeah, I would like to be. Jesus,
that's my son's birthday, but I'd be there.
Look, this is the lady that I'm talking about that's putting on the car show for Toys for Tots, Miss Jennifer Gilpin. She's like, yes. Jen, I'll have to get you connected with Miss Jerri here. Unfortunately, I won't be there. I'm gonna have to cancel the cruise, I guess. Gunny, she said she would love for you both to come. Gunny, she's also looking for an MC that day.
Hey,
yeah,
we co-host.
I don't know if I have the voice for it, Willis.
Yeah.
Well, you and Jerri could do it. What's up, Ty Cobb? How are you, sir?
What are you talking about?
That's no, yeah.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis? Yeah, we can definitely make that happen. Jennifer, we'll have to get y'all connected. Look, there we go. You can come to the 12-hour toy challenge that they got going on for Toys for Tots as well. So we got some stuff. We're gonna book you some gigs there, Miss Jerri. You're gonna be in Kentucky. You're gonna be in Kentucky a lot. We're gonna make it happen.
That would be great. I would love it.
So, Martin Ty Cobb, he's in here right now. He's one of the co-hosts of Triple Threat Vets podcast. So we definitely need to get you on their show as well because they have a great, fantastic show. I think you'd be great for them as well. So
a couple of squidlies on that show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's 2 squids on that show and 1 army dude. Ty's the only army guy. So you'd fit at home there. 2 squids and an army dude. Oh man. All right. So we only played a snippet of Hallelujah at the beginning, and I want to play the whole song because I think it warrants the whole song. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to play Hallelujah all the way through, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Your show. I'm just here.
You packed your bags and shut the door. You crossed the sea to fight a war. You didn't know just what would happen to ya. Stepped in the dirt, boots on the ground, and gunfire was the only sound. And to yourself you whispered hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Every day and every night, you walk the walk, you fight the fight. You never saw the end in sight, now did ya? The days are washing a haze of red, the blood, the mud, too many dead. Your weary soul was crying hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Too late to help you hear a shot. You know you're in a deadly spot. You never thought the day would come, now did ya? Your brother falls down to the ground. The enemy is all around, and from your lips you scream a hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You fought the fight till it was done. You have the strength to carry on. You thought it'd be much better back home, did ya? You try each day, keep pushing through, but the battle lives inside of you. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Mm. God, I remember the first time I heard that song. Holy cow! Yeah, that will, like Kevin right here. This Kevin and Lauren are watching. They said to tell you.
How are you
They said
doing,
to tell you
Kevin?
that love. But it said made him cry once or twice. Yeah, the first time I heard that song,
I mean, he
when
probably is right now too, because he's not on
Yeah,
screen. I'm just throwing it out there.
I remember when Gunny said, "Hey, you need to check out this person here," and he was talking about you, and I started listening, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I heard that song, and I was like, "Holy cow!" Now you said something earlier about that song that you can't take credit for that song, right? Because you didn't write
yeah.
the hallelujah part. You didn't write the music part of it. But here's the thing: that song has been done over and over and over so many times, like the main hallelujah song, because
Right.
it's sung in church every Sunday pretty much. And but what you did, you made it your own, and you made it our own. So you
Yeah.
can take credit for that version of that song because nobody else sings that version of that song. So you have to
Yeah.
take credit. You have to take credit where
Yeah.
credit is due.
It,
So
it's interesting. So when the original version, the original video, I was standing in my dining room in a navy hoodie. Literally, I think it might have been my blue boot camp hoodie, and I sang it, and I posted it, and then I made this video, and that original went viral. And then and then at that point, my audience grew from the 0 that were watching me play crappy guitar to a lot. And I said, I want video, or I want your pictures. And the pictures were sent to me with stories, most of them with stories. And I got so many. So they're not random pictures that I took off the internet. I mean, every picture was sent in to me, and I had so many pictures. I could have made 100 videos, and so it was really hard to pick through and kind of. I tried to get the different eras and the different jobs and the different everything that I could with it, and then what really made me annoyed is because there was some reality in the end of that video, YouTube blocked it out. And so it's blacked out on YouTube. So if you go to watch it, it says, oh, it's inappropriate content or whatever. And it's like, yeah, maybe, but it's real.
I just got it off of YouTube. That's where I got that video at.
Well, they'll leave it up, but like they don't show like a thumbnail of what it is typically. You may have it unblocked, but like it'll black it out. And so anybody scrolling by would never see it and think, you see a thumbnail and think, okay, it's military, that's for me. I'm gonna click on it and watch it. They don't promote it in any capacity because of the end of it, which is annoying because that's the reality of our lives.
Right.
So
Kevin says, yo, I have tried to come on through Facebook, Instagram, and now I'm on YouTube, and I definitely can't show you my face. Oh, that's funny. That's awesome. All right, so you're heading up north. I know you probably got to get back on the road here shortly, and we got to end the show. Is there anything that you want to leave our audience with before we drop you down in the green room?
not really. I have more music coming out, and like always, part of it will be military, some of it will be life. Definitely, there'll be something funny in it. And just if they like it, keep following it and share it. Share the video because when it gets blocked like that, it pisses me off. Like I just think it's ridiculous, and that just annoys me. So, and people are free. I never put it on Spotify, but it will be soon. I've had too many people ask me to put it on Spotify, but it is. People reach out a lot asking, can I use it for a funeral or for a Memorial Day event? Absolutely. It's free to download. There's a professional recorded version on my website you can download. And there's also a lyric sheet. So if people want to sing it. And then a girl from that I know in North Carolina, she actually created a karaoke track for it so that you can actually sing along to it. And I don't know anybody would ever want to do that. So I never would have thought to do that. But it's neat because like people want to sing it. And but I will say, if you want to sing live, call me first. There
you go. So call either email her first, which you can email her at info, which I just threw out in chat. Info at Sailor Jerri. I can't even talk. Info at SailorJerrimusic.com. You can email her there, or you can go to the website, which is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Hit contact, and it'll reach out to her as well. So Jen Gilpin, if you're still in here, I think you might be. Definitely reach out to Miss Jerri, and let's see if we can get her into Kentucky in the Louisville market and do some fundraising. I know Toys for Tots definitely needs some fundraising this year. So I want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to come out and hang out with Gunny and I. You didn't make him cry though. I was hoping you would make him cry.
No, sometimes you got to keep one in the holster just in case. So.
Oh, heck. What's up, Rich LaMonica? All right. Well, thank you again. We're going to end the show. We're going to drop you down in the back, and we're going to end the show real quick, and we'll chit chat afterwards if you want to hang out. It's up to you.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Gunny, you were not wrong, my friend.
I
You
mean, am I usually? Come on,
no,
No. Rich, SailorJerryMusic.com. You need to email her and have her on the Misfit Nation, brother. She'd be a great fit for your show. Either a Sunday or a Thursday show for sure. So info at SailorJerryMusic.com. There it is. It's back up on the screen. Info at SailorJerryMusic.com.
dude. And there's so much more music and so much more personal stuff out there with her. I mean, we could have her back on again and have another whole hour and still not cover everything. But dude, like I said, I met her at Warrior Weekend, and man, it's probably been 5, 6, 7 years. It's been before that. It was before COVID. And then we had her and the band can't come back and play, and we actually had a concert series that we did at Austin Landing, and she opened up, and then we had a Bruce Springsteen cover band come in the next night, and dude, it just crushed it. I mean, and then she did some acoustic stuff for us and hung out with the band. Like I said, I think that was the last night I ever drank was with her and the boys, because after that my liver's like, you're done. You can't hang with these guys. You're done. There's a video out there somewhere, and she may have posted it recently, but the guys are in the back of the truck, and they're like, hey, see if you can do a backflip out of the back of that truck. That's my truck. You better not be doing the backflip out of that truck. We were going from where the the concert was back to the hotel, and I had half of them inside the truck and half of them in the back of the truck. And I'm like, man, please don't let that tailgate fall down. But no, it was a great weekend with those guys, and of course Sailor Jerri. And every time she'd see me, she's like, you gonna smile? Show me the smolder. And every time she said that, I would smile. But it's like one of those things when you're at your wedding, they're like smiling, you're like, all right, serious one now, and then you're laughing about it. But no, I knew she was gonna be a great fit for us, a good show for us, and I can't wait to see what she has in store. I mean, I know what I have of her music and her CDs. Yes, CDs, I still have them, and I listen to them all the time. But you want a good song just to kind of open up and get a little laugh to. She Wants the D String is a really good song. Don't read into it too much, but
I'm gonna have to.
Jody's another really, really good, fun one, and
especially listen to it.
Especially for you that was you. That's your story.
Yeah, he was a Navy guy. Damn it.
But especially all the military guys and girls out there, because that's all your drill instructors or your whatever you want to call them, drill sergeants talk about is, Jody's home with your girl, or Jody's home with your guy, blah 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 blah. And Jody she just run with it, and it's to the beat and then the sound of Jolene, and oh my god, yeah, it's good, man. It's fun. It's a good one. And then this flag is another one that's really, really good. And the team used it for one of our videos that we put together during COVID to help raise awareness for what we do. And I think the city of Middletown was trying to push us out at the time, and Nicole reached out and was like, hey, can we use this? And this is what we're going to use it for. And sure enough, and it's a great video that the team has produced with her song. So dude, there's just so much out there, that a little bit of something for everybody with her music. But yeah, and then she's just great.
I've already added her into my veteran playlist with Theory and all these other Shannon Book and all these guys.
Yeah.
So she's mixed in there now. So whenever I throw on that veteran playlist, it'll be like do. So yeah, I'm excited, man. Everything that I've listened to sounds really amazing. She's got a great voice. It's something that you could sit back and sip on your adult beverage if you want to.
Have some bourbon. You just sit back and have some nice bourbon. I'll say it.
Well, yeah,
I'll say
you'll
it.
say it. All right, all right. You ready? You ready?
Yep.
Gunny's Words of Wisdom.
What they hate in you is what's missing in them.
Mm. You have to say that for the people in the back.
What they hate in you is what's missing in them.
Mm. What they hate in you is what's missing in them. Bro, that's facts. That's straight up facts. Mm.
Don't ask me to read that one again because I just deleted it.
You deleted it.
I did.
Deleted
I've
it.
got them all.
It's
I've got
all
them all listed up. I don't want to say it over again, but no. I mean, you get those people that they either talk bad about you about one way or another, and it's like why, right? And then you sit back and analyze their life a little bit. It's like, are they jealous? Is it something that you have something that they don't? Right? You got the guy down the street that got a new truck, and you're like, oh, that dude's a douche. And then you get your new truck, and you're like, oh, I got a new truck, and you don't, right? So
yeah.
The big D game that a lot of veterans like to play, but it happens out in corporate America too. So it's just I got
What
the promotion,
happens in it happens in life in general, though. I mean, not just corporate America, not just veterans. You always have those one uppers. I think that'd be a good song title, One Upper. I think it'd be a good song title. I could hear that one already, One Upper. So anyway, here we go.
It's time for the joke of the day.
What's the opposite of artificial intelligence?
What is the
I'm-
opposite of
Yeah.
artificial
What's the
intelligence?
opposite of artificial intelligence?
Not a lieutenant.
Natural stupidity.
Oh, maybe a lieutenant.
So that is what's the opposite of artificial intelligence? Natural stupidity. And I hate natural stupid people.
Man, I mean, that's anymore. It's everywhere you go, and that is probably what pisses me off the most is ignorant
Stupid
and
people.
stupid people.
Yeah.
And
Well-
especially people of a certain age that was raised to know better, and they don't, right? And
Yeah.
April will tell you. There's one story out there, and I can't remember where we were. We were checking out somewhere. Kohl's. We were in Kohl's checking out, and the lady's like next person in line, and April and I go up, and I'm standing there, and then all of a sudden I just feel this presence behind me, and it was an older, and I say older, she's probably in her 70s lady, and she's this close to me. I'm like, are you a proctologist? She's like, no. I'm like, then get out of my ass.
Yeah.
And that lady that was working the cash register, her face and her jaw, and she was just like, and then April just looked at me. She goes, you got to be nice. I'm like, I don't have to be. She said the next person, the next three people. I said, and she's old enough, and she was raised in an era that she should know better.
Yeah.
And now it's like that. I guarantee that girl still tells that story to this day. You know what I mean? I don't need this, right? But at least give me half.
Yeah, at least half of it. Yeah.
I don't need to feel your breath on the back of my neck or smell what you ate for breakfast. That I don't need that.
Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that. All right, Gunny, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not alone. You still have worth. You still have value. Don't let the dark days win. Surround yourself with people that are going to build you up and not tear you down.
In the silence of your struggles, remember, though unseen, you were deeply held in the hearts of others. You were not alone. The uniform may come off, but the bond remains. And together we heal. Together we rise. And together we carry each other forward. And the key word there is together. And then hashtag be someone stranger, guys. Listen, we as humans, we're more apt to talk to a complete stranger than the ones we love the most. So be someone stranger today. And what that means is if you're out and about and you see somebody and it looks like they're having a bad day, go up to them, say, hey, how are you doing? And if they give you the red flags, I'm okay, I'm hanging in there, I'm living a dream, ask the next hard question. How are you really doing? and be ready for that conversation, because it could be a 5-minute conversation. It could be an 8-hour conversation. You have to be ready for it. And here's the kicker. Just listen. Don't try to fix them. Just listen, because sometimes we just need to get it out. And you never know. Just them getting it out could save their life.
Yeah, it takes a village. We can't do this alone. And if you think you can, you're wrong. Turn to your Rolodex, your little black book, whatever you want to call this. Open up your contacts, scroll through blindly, and just hit it. Call somebody. Hey, brother, just thinking about you today. Or, hey, you got a second? I need to unload some stuff. Who knows? Your voice might be the one that saves them. And tomorrow's not guaranteed.
Yeah, definitely. Sailor Jerri says she has to hit the road. Thank you again.
No worries. Safe travels.
All right, time for our community partners. All right, so we got SOF Missions, the Shield of Faith Missions down in Tampa, Florida. Man, this organization is phenomenal. Top tier. I'm going to say top tier mid-level nonprofit. And the reason I say they're a mid-level is because they're not, the big ones. They're not. I'm not even going to say names, but they're not the big ones. They're right there, man. They take care of you while you're there, right? So you go to the 5-day clinic, 3-day retreat, or you go to the online things that you can do online as well, the online training. While you're there, man, as soon as you pull in or they pick you up at the airport, they make you feel like you're home, right? And they do first responders, they do veterans. And we were there for 5 days, man. And if Rich is still in here, he could testify to it as well. You go there and the everything that is going on, you have your group sessions, but then you break out and you do individual stuff, and everything that is going on for that 5 days is catered around you, right? If you need chiropractor, if you need massage therapy, if you need medicine, VA help, filing your VA claim.
Yeah, I don't have it on right now because it's on the charger, but the Aura ring, dude, that thing has helped me so much with my sleep and track my sleep and see how much of the REM I am, how much deep sleep I'm getting, how much movement I have throughout the night, where my breath and everything is. Dude, that thing has helped me tremendously.
Oh yeah.
And they paid for that. They pay for that service,
Yeah.
for you to have that. And man, it's amazing.
Yeah, they do. The thing about here is 365 days after you leave, the aftercare that you get. A lot of nonprofits out there, man, you go through their 5-day, 7-day clinic, whatever. The day you leave and you get back home, that's it. They don't take care of you. Yeah. Here, if you need supplements, they'll take care of you and send you supplements. If you need whatever you need, your case manager is available to help you. So check out
cognitive therapy. They'll help you find someone that's close to you. A chiropractor, they'll help find somebody that's close to you. If you need VA care, they'll try to help you with that too, and point you in the right direction. Or if you're trying to, get your claim taken care of or get an increase, they'll put you in contact with people that can assist you with that as well.
Yeah. So check out sofmissions.org. That's sofmissions.org. Up next, Mr. Adam Bird was just in chat just a little bit ago, but check out heroesmediagroup.com. HomeFront SitRep is a proud family member, have been now for 2.5 years of the HMG family. And I will tell you, here's a text message Adam sent me just yesterday or day before. Checking in, you good? That's all he sent. Checking in, you good? But here's the thing. He didn't have to do that, but he does that. He checks in with all of his people that are within his organization there with heroesmediagroup.com. So check them out. Up next is Reese Across America Radio. HomeFront SitRep has been on Reese Across America Radio now for what, 2 years, Gunny? I think roughly right around 2 years.
Right around, I think right around 2 years, yeah, because it was a year right after the show last year when we went to see Jeff in Louisville, and that's
Yep.
already passed. So it's just over two.
Yeah, just over 2 years. We've been on reaseacrossamerica.org/radio, which is the listen live link. You can go there, or you can download the Audacity app, TuneIn app, or iHeartRadio. Search the word Reese, and you can find HomeFront SitRep on Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. That's Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. So check it out. Up next is sameflagsameoath.com. Uncle Sam is wearing our shirt back there. Gunny's getting ready to put it up down here on the bottom of the screen. It says it's Marine It Down. It's a co-branded shirt with sameflagsameoath.com. Homefront Sit Rep gets 25% of each, all the sales. So we get 25% of each sale. At the end of the year, what we do is we take that money, spin a wheel, whoever it lands on, they get that check. So
And
go
it's
buy
a
you a Marine.
nonprofit that we've had on
Yeah,
the show
nonprofit. A
previous year.
nonprofit that, yeah. So go download that shirt, or go buy that shirt, download it. Go buy that shirt. When you get it, tag Homefront SitRep, tag Gunny, tag me on Facebook, wherever. And that way we can see you guys wearing it, and we'll show it here on the screen as well. So check out sameflagsameoath.com. Now, we have partnered with sameflagsameoath.com. We have 4 new shirts coming. They're working on it. We're working on a 5th one right now. Super excited about the 5th one because it's different.
Yep.
It's super different. So we're right now we have the Marina Down shirt, and then we're adding 4. So we're hashtag be someone stranger, hashtag you're not alone, then a Homefront SitRep logo shirt, and then the spicy pineapple. That's a cool shirt as well. And then we're actually working on a Red Friday shirt as well. Gunny and I, we got to finalize the design, but we're working on that as well. So check out sameflagsameoath.com. Up next is Elite Engraving 24. Gunny has the hats right there. They're Richardson 112s. They have all the styles of Richardson 112. You get the red Homefront SitRep logo patch on the front for Remember Everyone Deployed. So super awesome hat there. Up next,
Valor Coins and Pins, owned and operated by Brent and Brian Casey, the grandsons of the late Herschel Woody Williams Medal of Honor recipient from World War II on Iwo Jima. Anything you need, coin, pin, medals, like you want to put together a 5K and you need medals for your 5K, patches, poker chips. Visit valorcoinsandpins.com, and Brent and Brian will help you out, and they'll give you a great price.
Up next is RDC.
Yeah, RDC shoes. Darren Davis, Marine veteran, former law enforcement officer. Right now, they have the Patriot shoe, which is behind Willis on the top shelf there. It's just like the blue field on the flag with the stars. The eyelets on the top of both shoes on both sides is a gold star to represent the Gold Star families. The tongue is the red and white, just like the stripes would be. And a portion of the proceeds for those shoes goes to help the Woody Williams Foundation. And then they have the Glory, and the current Glory edition is a Folds of Honor edition. So what is blue with the stars on those shoes is the red and the white. And then it's got the blue tongue with the stars. And then it's got a Folds of Honor logo on the back. And a portion of the proceeds goes to help the families of fallen or severely wounded service members for their kids for college scholarships.
So good, and they're comfortable. I love my Patriots.
I had mine on this weekend.
Heck yeah. And the cool thing, did you mention the
I didn't. Yeah. So you get a hero card of a Medal of Honor recipient, and it talks about the action that led to get them the Medal of Honor. And that comes with every pair of shoes.
Yeah. So
and it's a different one every time too. So you might get Kyle Carpenter, you might get Herschel Woody Williams, you might get Sammy Davis, you might get Mike Thornton. Just I don't know who has agreed to let them use their stuff, but I do know that those guys are on there. I have 3 of the 4 that I just mentioned.
Nice. Last but not least, HomeFrontSitRep.com. Go check out HomeFrontSitRep.com. You can see all these great nonprofits, veteran business owners, veteran comedians, veteran singers. They're all listed on there. Upcoming events is on there as well. Upcoming podcast episodes are on there as well. So go check out HomeFrontSitRep.com. Other than that, Gunny, it's that time of night, my friend. We
It
do
is.
have Tip of the Spear on Wednesday, the 29th.
Unfortunately for me, I will be traveling that day. So when it comes time for Tip of the Spear, I probably will be somewhere around Alaska, south of at probably 30 plus thousand feet is going to be my guess. And
You
then
should do it from get the airplane Wi-Fi and do the podcast on the airplane.
if it will allow me, I will absolutely do it from the plane if it
Dude,
will allow me. So send me the link because I won't be able to log in from my phone because I don't have
okay,
that on my phone. But send me the link and I will try to log in from the plane. Um,
let's do it. I will
so
email it to you.
and then also on next Sunday, which will be my Monday morning, I will either be on a plane or getting ready to get on a plane to fly from Iwakuni to Tokyo. So send me the link for that one as well, and I'll try to get on if I'm at the airport or getting ready to go to the airport because I can't remember what time my flight is. And then also for Monday night, which is Tuesday morning, um, I'll probably be at the hotel getting ready to go out into Tokyo, and maybe I'll tune in from somewhere in Tokyo. So
Awesome.
send me the
Yeah.
link for the next 3 shows.
I will do that, my friend. I will do that. I think so. I'm getting ready to schedule. I got some already scheduled in May. We do have. I'm super excited about this one. So we have the VFW first female commander in chief of the Veterans of Foreign War.
Nice.
Miss Carol Whitmore. She'll be coming on, telling her story and what they do. So super excited about that. So we do have her coming up in May. We have let's see, who else do we got scheduled as of right now? Heroes on the Water. We got some guys from the Maine National Board of Heroes on the Water coming on. Memorial Day that weekend, the 24th and 25th. Gunny and I, you know what? We were talking about this earlier today, and I think we're going to take Memorial Day weekend off, just so we can reflect and think about our fallen brothers and sisters. So that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to take the 24th and 25th off.
And spend some time with our families too,
Yeah.
right? Because doing the podcast, right? Yes, it's Sunday and Monday, but especially you prepping everything, you lose half your Sunday. From the time you get home from church or lunch after church or whatever, you're down in the bunker trying to figure out and get things queued up and videos and everything else. So we take that break at Christmas, but that's the only break that we really take. So I think just being able to have a couple days, a weekend, just to spend with our families and reflect on those that have come before us that are no longer here. And I think it'll be a nice reset I say almost midway through the season, right? Because June's the next weekend. But I think people understand that.
Yeah, I think people will understand. It's just one of those things. We just take a reset, get back into things, and just take a weekend off and enjoy family. My wife is always like, "Hey, she's like, you need to take holidays off," and I'm like, "Yeah, So
I don't know every holiday.
Yeah,
Maybe
the major
we don't do Christmas, right?
We don't do Easter.
We don't do Easter Sunday. We don't do Thanksgiving because we do Tip of the Spear the week prior. So we have all of Thanksgiving. Depending on when 4th of July falls, we've not had that happen yet. So who knows, right? Maybe we do take that off and spend with our family. But there are certain holidays that absolutely we're not going to do anything on. And I think this is one that we should not, other than reflect and, go and maybe, and I talked about it to you earlier, Camp Nelson does a flag in event, right? Where that Saturday that you just go in there and they have a nice guest speaker, and then you put just a little small, 4x6 American flag on a wooden stick in the ground at every single marker in Camp Nelson. Maybe go to your cemetery and see if they're doing something like that and volunteer. But when you're doing that, remember to read that name out loud so they're not forgotten.
Yeah. Anytime you just read those names out loud, so they're not forgotten. Whether you're traveling down the highway and you see on the side of the road, say their name.
Yeah.
If you miss it, back up, say their name.
Maybe not if you're on the highway. I mean, if I'm going 70 and I miss that sign, I'm not and backing up. I'll catch it on the way home.
Yeah, you're catching it on the
Be safe. Be safe with what you're doing. Don't listen to Willis. Be safe.
Oh man! All right, like we always say on HomeFront SitRep, stay safe out there. We got your 6.
You got your 6.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your 6.